English with Deck.
You know, it's absolutely phenomenal how you can have an absolutely fantastic weekend and it will just be forgotten. Just like that. Isn't the mind really interesting how sometimes we can really enjoy ourselves, have an absolutely phenomenal time. But a few weeks later, a few months later, you won't really remember it. You'll probably have forgotten about it. However, this past weekend was not one of those which I will forget for a long time. Was it absolutely amazing? No. Did I nearly die? I thought so. I thought I was going to. Was it something that will go down in my personal history books? Absolutely. What the hell am I talking about? Well, my my youngest daughter decided to so very kindly bring home a bit of a stomach flu virus from her nursery. Well, I assume from the nursery. Anyway, the reason I assumed it is her is because well, throughout the week she generally had a cold anyway, and then it didn't seem to get any worse or any better. But come the early hours of Saturday morning, I'm awoken by the epic sound of my youngest daughter, who is just 1 year old, projectile vomiting onto my wife. She had crawled over to my wife and one time she did this once. And then was put back to sleep after my wife got changed. She did it 2 times. And one more time, 3 times in a very short period. But each time, straight onto my wife, not onto the surrounding bedding or the surrounding vicinity, straight onto my wife. Anyway, I woke up for my early morning classes on Saturday morning. Felt a bit squeamish, stomach feeling a bit, kind of like you've had too much coffee too early, kind of feeling. I didn't think anything of it because I had some coffee a bit too early. Anyway, so I went about my morning, did a bit of the laundry before my classes, got on with them, felt a bit funny, but it is what it is. After the classes, got some scrambled eggs and toast down me. All good. However, I noticed at that point when I went for my third class of the morning, my eldest daughter is also not awake yet. Not unusual, but also slightly bizarre. Anyway, thought nothing of it. However, I just happened to mention that my students, sorry, at the 8 o'clock in my 8 o'clock class, 8 a.m., that I had a bit of a stomach ache, but apart from that, felt all right, considering the rest of my daughters are currently feeling pretty crappy, not feeling too great, um, with a bit of a heavy cold virus. Anyway, during this 1 hour class, or 50 minutes, during this 50-minute class, I end up opening the window next to me. I end up taking a jumper off, you know, and I felt rubbish, to put it very politely. I felt rubbish. Capital R, rubbish. And I was sweating, and I had to end the lesson early. And to this moment, I am embarrassed about that. But she was really kind, and if you are listening to this, you know who you are, and I apologize, and I have compensated you with some extra time in your upcoming lessons this week. Um, but anyway, you were really kind and understanding, so thank you for that. Anyway, I made it downstairs, to the toilet, and yeah, I won't gore you with the details, but yes, I made it to the toilet, and after that, I just physically could not handle the rest of my classes that day, so I had to cancel. Anyway, this was Saturday, just before 9 a.m. now, and I basically spent until Sunday evening in bed, absolutely suffering. I have never experienced pain like that. It was My stomach was on fire, my head was on fire, I was puking, uh, both both ends. You know, it was very classic stomach flu, very severe stomach flu. So there was me in that state. My two daughters were in that state, all of us in varying degrees of severity, and my amazing wife was soldiering on. She is a nurse by trade, but she soldiered on, and she managed to keep us all hydrated and well cared for over the course of these 48 hours. Wow, it was epic. I woke up covered in sweat. Probably, I think I came out in a fever several times, and then that eased off. And then I threw up some more. Managed to have some water, threw that up, and all throughout this, my wife is like looking after the kids and occasionally coming over to me, make sure I'm okay. I think she is a nurse. Though I do end up going. Of course, I come second to the kids. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Some other things above me, as there always is. But yeah, it was incredibly painful, incredibly traumatic, big. No man flu. This is not a man flu situation. I promise you that this is not man flu. I am not exaggerating that. If you do not know what man flu is, by the way, please search man flu. MAN space FLU. Search it. I am not talking about this. This is genuine, real flu. Stomach flu. Anyway, actually, a friend of ours, they bought some supplies and stuff because we couldn't really go out the house. No one could. And yeah, it was incredibly awful. But yeah, it was so wow. I have not experienced an illness like that for years, and I hope I never have to anytime soon again. And honestly, if you do come down with stomach flu and find yourself in a real situation, I pray for you. I have sympathy, and even if it's mild, it's inconveniencing you. You have my sympathy. Okay, well, just to let you know, I survived. I'm all good, and I will chat again soon. All right, have a good one.